All right, so 7-7, this is going to be day 2. We are doing the same thing that we were just doing, so if you're doing this all in one go, that's probably, helpful for you. You are factoring your x squared plus bx plus c's, where we want factors of b that add to give you c. So on number 9, our b value is 2, our c value is 3, -3, -2, and -3. So we want factors of c that add to b. So we want factors of that -3 that add to give you a -2. So our factors of -3, we're either going to have a +1 and a -3 or a -1 and a +3. I want to add together to give me a -2. So start adding. What's 1 plus -3? That's -2. So that's your answer right there. So we're going to turn that into a binomial. Remember, binomials have 2 terms, so it's going to be a plus 1, a minus 3. So number 10, x squared minus 7x minus 30. That's our b, that's our c. So I want factors of -30 that add to give me a -7. So -30, well, that's going to be 1 and -30, -1 and a +30, 2 and a -15, -2 and a +15, 3 and -10, -3 and +10, 5 and -6, -5 and a +6. If at any point you see the number that you're trying to add it to, you can stop there. So I wanted -7. And really, I didn't even need to list these two because I know it's either going to be 3 and a -10 or -3 and a +10. It's going to be in this box. So that's not it, that's not it, that's not it. Which of these, when I add them together, gives me a -7? No, it's this one. It's +3 minus 10. So my factors are going to be x, oops, you can't see that, dang it, x plus 3, x minus 10. So number 11, that's B, that's C. I want factors of -63 that add together to give me a -2. So -63, -2. And I'm kind of starting to run out of room here because for whatever reason, I didn't leave myself enough room. So I'm going to write my factors over here. So -63, I've got 1 and -63 or a -1 and a +63. 2 does not go in. 3 goes in 21 times. 4 does not go in. 5 does not go in. 6 does not go in. 7 goes in 9 times. So which of these gives me a -2 when I add them together? Well, those are obviously not, no, just no. These are very obviously no. So it's down between these two. I want -2. Well, 7 minus 9 is -2, so that's my winner. So I'm going to have a +7 and a -9. So B plus 7, B minus 9. Number 12, k squared minus 12k minus 64. That's my B, that's my C. So I want factors of -64 that add together to give me a -12. So coming back over here to my paper. Factors of -64. I've got 1 and -64, -1 and a +64. 2 and -32, -2 and a +32. Let's see, 3 does not go in, 4 goes in. So I've got 4 and -16 or a -4 and a +16. At this point, you should be stopping. If you want, you can keep listing and do your double eights, but at this point, it's going to be one of these two because adding, remember adding, that's nowhere near 12, that's nowhere near 12, that's no near, nah, none of those are near 12, but these ones are going to give us 12. We need a -12 though. Well, 4 minus 16 is -12. So that's my answer. So +4, -16. I'm going to have k plus 4, k minus 16. So number 4, no, set 4, good Lord. Set 4, moving on. Number 13, you've got x squared minus 11x plus 24. So that's our B, that's our C. So I want factors of 24 that add together to give me a negative 11? Well, our factors of 24 are going to be, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. But do you notice something? When you add these, that's 25, that's 14, that's 11, that's 10. We need a negative. Well, the only way to get a positive is if you multiply positive by a positive or a negative by a negative. So that's negative, 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 negative. So if you have a positive here and a negative here, you're dealing with double negatives. So which of those gives us 11? Well, we already said it, 3 and 8. Only now it's a negative 3 and a negative 8. So our factors are going to be x minus 3, x minus 8. Number 14, you've got x squared minus 14x plus 49. That's our B, that's our C. So we want factors of 49 that add to give us a negative 14. Again, if that's positive and that's negative, we're dealing with double negatives. So negative 1, negative 49. Let's see. 2 does not go in. 3 does not go in. 4, no. 5, no. 6, no. 7 is the only other factor. So negative 7 and negative 7. Now, which of those, when you add them together, gives you negative 14? Obviously not that one. That's your only option. So you've got k minus 7 and no x, sorry. X minus 7 and x minus 7. So number 15, you've got y squared minus 17y plus 72. So this is B and this is C. So I want factors of 72 that add to give me a negative 17. Coming back over here, positive, negative, so I'm going to have doubles. So negative 1, negative 72, negative 2, negative 36, negative 3, negative 24, negative 4, negative 18. 5 does not go in case you were wondering. Negative 6, negative 12. Let's see, 7 does not go in, negative 8, negative 9. So I want 17. Oh, nope. Really close. There it is. So I'm going to have a negative 8 and a negative 9. So I'm going to have y minus 8, y minus 9. And before you ask, I don't know why they did not give you more space in these blocks. I really don't. I apologize for that. Number 16, you've got m squared minus 15m plus 50. So that's B, that's C. So I have factors of 50 that add to give you a negative 15. Positive, negative, I'm dealing with doubles, so negative 1, negative 50. Negative 2, negative 25. 3 does not go in. 4 does not go in. 5 goes in 10 times. 6 does not, 7 does not, 8 does not, 9 does not, and then we're back to 10. So I want negative 15. No, that's the only option you've got. So negative 5 and a negative 10. So if you see, I understand that all of this is a lot of work. I do get that. But if you do this, it makes this a lot easier, especially if those numbers are not coming to you second nature. I have a lot of you that have phenomenal mental math skills. I'm looking at you, Brody, and Lyanna, and Hadessa, actually, and Jaden, and Peyton, and the rest of you just kind of pretend I don't exist most days, math-wise at least. You can do this. I know you can, but if you can't get these numbers, mental math, do this, okay? So, all right, number 17 through 22. So if you notice, set 1, 2, 3, and 4 all had a specific order they went in. I mean, they were all the same. All of them were the same. These ones up here, your B value was negative. These ones, your B values were positive. This one, everything was positive. These ones, you got positive and negatives. Everything followed in order. This mixed practice, there is no order. So you've got to kick it in gear and figure it out. So a squared plus 6a minus 16. Well, that's your B, that's your C. So factors of negative 16 that add to give you 6. So factors of negative 16, 1 and negative 16, negative 1 and positive 16. 2 and negative 8, negative 2 and a positive 8. Stop. It's one of those two. I mean, you could keep going with the 4 and 4, be my guest, but I'm stopping you. So which of these, when I add them together, gives me 6? Positive 6. No, it's this one. So negative 2, positive 8. So come back over here. A minus 2, A plus 8. And remember, you can always check these. Negative 2 plus 8 is 6. Negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. The checking is within the numbers. I mean, you add them, you get this number. You multiply them, you get this number. So number 18, x squared minus 14x minus 72. That's B, that's C. So I want factors of negative 72 that add to give me a negative 14. So, oh Lord, I've already listed 72 like 3 times at this point, I feel like. So 1 and negative 72, negative 1 and a positive 72. 2 and negative 36, negative 2 and a positive 36. 3 and negative 24, negative 3 and a positive 24. 4 and negative 18, negative 4 and a positive 18. Hold the phone. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. It's one of those two. Because adding, nowhere near 14, nowhere near 14, nowhere near 14. Hey! I want a negative 14 though. So which of these, when I add them together, gives me a negative 14? No, it's these ones. Positive 4, negative 18. So, positive 4, negative 18. 18. Dingleberry, not 8. Oh. There we go. Okie dokie. So, number 19. That's B, that's C. So I want factors of 40 that add to give me a 13. This one's all positive, so it's nice and easy. So factors of 40 are 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 3 does not go in, 4 and 10, and 5 and 8. Well, which of those gives you 13? Nope, nope, nope. Ding dong. So 5 and 8. So this is y plus 5, y plus 8. Don't you just love those ones? Nice and easy. 20. That's your B, that's your C. So I want factors of 48 that add together to give me a negative 16. Well, this is one of those positive negative ones, which means I've got double negatives. So negative 1, negative 48. Negative 2, negative 24. Negative 3, negative 16. Negative 4, negative 12. 5 does not go in. 6 goes in 8 times. Well, which of those gives me negative 16? Boop, boop, be-doop. There we go. So W minus 4, W minus 12. Two more, boys and girls, and then we got this. So n squared minus n minus 30, that's your B, that's your C. So I want factors of a negative 30 that add to give me a negative 1. Bloop, bloop, bloop. 1 and negative 30, negative 1 and a positive 30. 2 and negative 15, negative 2 and a positive 15. 3 and a negative 10, negative 3 and a positive 10. 4 does not go in, 5 goes in 6 times. Which of those gives me a negative 1? Well, no. One of these two. Negative 1 would be these two. Positive 5 and a negative 6. So n plus 5, n minus 6. Last one. And we got this. So, and it's a nice easy one. That's our B, that's our C. So we want factors of 42 that add together to give us 13. So our factors of 42, and I kind of ran out of room again, are 1 and 42, 2 and 21. Let's see, 3 goes in 14 times, 5 does not, and then 6 goes in 7 times. Which of those, when I add them together, gives me 13? Nope. Ding, ding, ding. So that's going to give you k plus 6, k plus 7. All right, boys and girls, you have got this. Just make sure, So if your factors of number is a positive, you are either dealing with double positives or double negatives. If your factors of is negative, that's when you've got to list a longer list. Your list should be twice as long if you've got a factors of a negative number instead, okay? Good luck, boys and girls.